Why just hear about a legend when you can drift closer to his soul? Let's find stillness together, tracing the path of Thrall, son of Durotan, a life forged in iron and tempered in storm winds. Imagine the chill seeping into your bones. Asterisk, asterisk, I shackled beginnings, asterisk, asterisk, that fortress. Durnhold, cold stone scraping rough against small fingers, maybe yours. The bite of northern winds carried the scent of pine, snow, and cruelty. That was your world. You were born Thrall, Thrall, meaning slave. Your first word hammered into your spirit by the sneering man in fine clothes. Edelos Blackmore, to him you were a curiosity, a beast to be broken, a gladiator, whipped and prodded from childhood. Oh, the sting of the lash, the burning taste of humiliation, the roar of the crowd above the fighting pit. You remember their baying for blood, your blood, yet kindness existed, a flicker, that human woman, the cook whose face was lined with compassion, secretly teaching you letters from torn scrolls, whispering human prayers to soothe your wounded spirit. She gave you names, strength, honor, words heavy as chains, but warm against skin rubbed raw by shackles. And the thunderclap moment, entering your cell, Orgrim Doomhammer, a nightmare of shadow and grim power, an orc warrior pure and terrifying. He saw past the color, past the slave's scars. He saw asterisk you asterisk, son of Durotan, chieftain murdered for protecting his people from darkness, son of Draka, fierce protector, grandson of Gorad, noble names, whispered like forbidden hymns, names of shamans and chieftains, your true birthright spilled into that dank cage. The old stories flowed of green fields and noble wars beneath red skies, of demonic blood curse turning proud hunters into broken prisoners trapped like animals. Each training session became revelation, each word a gift carving away the lie of Thrall. Yet Blackmore seethed. A gladiator was useful, an educated orc dangerous. The final lash flicked down your dear Tari, the gentle cook, murdered for teaching you. Eyes that shone with kindness, closed forever by a master's whim. Betrayal tasted like ash and rage. That rage became fire in your limbs. Chains shattered under desperation fueled by grief. Not beasts, but wargs. Lumbering, snaggle-toothed mounts killed their masters at your whispered plea. Carnage. Freedom screamed from every newly torn chain, yours and theirs. You fled, wind cutting through ragged clothes, the jagged peaks of Alterock whispering of a world beyond, beyond chains, towards a people lost. Asterisk, asterisk, 2. Reclaiming heritage, asterisk, asterisk, Alterack's peaks turned to Lordaeron's snow-covered forests. Thick with silence and watchful eyes, solitude, seeking scattered embers, where once a great bonfire roared. What remained? Not proud hunters singing beneath Orgrim's mighty doomhammer, but hollows, empty eyes and green faces, orcs slopped by smoldering fires inside flimsy human-built pens. The stink of surrender, thick and cloying. Thralldom of a different sort, lethargy, weakness, the last gasps of Manaroth's demonic curse clinging like stagnant swamp rot. Your soul twisted. Was this the glorious heritage? Was this Durotan's failing a crack of lightning? A war cry raked bloody scratches across the snowscape. Grommash hell screams, war song warriors crashed through the stillness. Raw defiance practically blazed from their skin, unbroken, unbowed, fierce as their chieftain's terrifying roar. Chaos erupted, your hammer found flesh, not wood or straw. The shock of real battle vibrated up your arms, harsh, terrifying, strangely exhilarating. Outside the pens, free, the contrast pierced deeper. Where the interned orcs were dust, the war song were wildfire, barely controlled, volatile. Honor felt submerged beneath raw fury. Something vital was still missing, seeking roots deeper than rage. You turned towards rumors whispered on the chilly mountain winds, the frost wolves, hidden away. North, a journey through breath-stealing heights led to a hidden valley. Ancient shamans waited, wild spirits seemed coiled in the stones around them. Drek'Thar, blind eyes somehow seeing everything, his gnarled hand touch your chest. Asterisk, you feel the hum, young one, the tremor beneath your feet. The earth remembers you, the sky knows your eyes. The fire recognizes the spark, asterisk shamanism. The old path before demons, before fell taint. Not tearing, but asterisk asking asterisk dot, not dominating, but asterisk harmonizing asterisk. He guided you through the veil. Imagine the sheer relief. Leaning into the world's soul, the deep, rumbling song beneath dusty plains welcomed you like a returning child. The wind whispered secrets of ancestors against your cheek. Gentle rain sighed your names, cleansing old pain. A fire's crackle became laughter. The call resonated back to the first flicker of consciousness in primordial waters. This resonated in your bones, deeper than any rage. The balance, the deep magic, your soul snapped into alignment, finding its true weight, its anchor in a storm. Drek'Thar's knowing smile held the warmth of hearthstones and blessings, truth. You wore it on your skin like scales settling comfortably into place. Asterisk, asterisk 3, uniting the tribes, asterisk, asterisk, fire ignited within you now. The shaman's path demanded balance, gave you strength, but your people, scattered, broken. The internment camps couldn't stand. Freedom wasn't offered. It had to be asterisk, one asterisk, torn. From Stormwind to Strandbrad, your voice became their rally cry. Not the promise of plunder, but the raw truth of chains. You smashed wood and iron, faces turned towards you, pale moonlight on green skin, confusion shifting into dawning fire. You were Durotan, and Draka's strength made flesh, Orgrimmar's wisdom kindled into purpose. Shouts replaced listless groans. Even the elders remembered. Warriors rose, clutching makeshift weapons. Hope spread like wildfire on dry tinder. The horde stirred anew, leading these ragged bands feels precarious, like holding a tempest. Many trust you, many others see only youth. The old panther still pads beside you, Orgrimmar Doomhammer, crumbling approval, offering the sharp knife of experience. Then ambush, humans and rage by liberation. A vengeful lance ripped from the forest shadows. Pain burst through Orgrimmar's battle-scarred back, bending the mighty frame. That roar of agony echoed off ancient trees. You held him as he fought that final tie, the tide none escaped. That moment felt stretched thin, the cold wet ground beneath your knees, the rasp of his breath, the iron tang of his blood on hands that once shattered his titan's collar. Asterisk Thrall, Boyd, take it taut asterisk, he forced the impossible weight of the Doomhammer into your trembling grip. Its metal thrummed, deep and low. Asterisk lead them, son of Durotan, asterisk a final exhale. Shackles feel heavy, but authority settles like rockfall. The mantle traps you as much as it empowers. You wanted guidance. Now you were asterisk the rock. His eyes held nothing back as he entrusted everything. You felt the blow land in the silent stretch before dawn. Your hand wrapped tightly around the cold haft of resolve, their Warchief. By blood and last breath. The Horde watched silently. Calendar, the name shimmered like a distant heat haze. Prophecy whispered it. Possibility. Humans closed in like tightening iron bands. Their vengeance promised only annihilation. Retreat is measured in desperate footsteps towards crashing ocean spray. Ships, stolen, overloaded, creaking under the weight of a nation fleeing its tomb. Salt stung your grateful eyes. Seeing the rolling scud above, the storms stirred at your call, shielding the straining fleet. Your breath synchronized with the primal gusts. Their sails blew westward, driven by the desperate spirit of your people. Landfall came hard, jagged orange-red cliffs. Alien plants twisting towards a punishing sun. Harsh symmetry pleasing somehow, Drek'Thar, named for the father whose memory became your bedrock. Their new world tore into your bare feet. The shaman hummed approval beneath the sand. Home, asterisk for a horde reborn, asterisk. This promised land demanded blood. Giant scorpions bristled in cracked ravines. Quillboars surged over dunes. Hunger gnawed. Survival came step by brutal step. On windswept mesas, Cairne Bloodhoof arrived, a mountain-given form. Wise eyes measured your character, seeing far past battle scars. His noble tauren shared deep respect for rocks, wines, rivers, fire. Old spirits smiling upon each voice, immediate kinship. Miles of rock face bore silent witness as you pledged arms and hearts. The Horde shelters its own, brothers in balance and strength, solid as stone. Harder shores tested you. The echo isles, lurking hunger from the depths. Sea serpent worshippers demanding sacrifice. Their dark masters threaten to pull the Darkspear trolls under literal tidal waves. Will they fall? Vol'jin stood defiant, eyes sharp with sacred purpose. Voodoo crackling amidst snapping reptilian jaws. You hurled yourself into that wet chaos alongside his hunters. Outnumbered, surf crashed down, but fire roared back. Smoke choked scaled throats. The tide turned humbly upon your sacrifice. Vol'jin grasped your arm firmly afterward, cocked eyebrow revealing stoic respect. Da Horde, they got strength da spare. Be my family's tribe. Our shadows dance together now, permanently. Ruthlessness held at bay by honor, won through shared battle. Battle grew imminent. A different terror tore through Calendar Legion. Ancient demons seeping from the very soul. Roots of pure corruption. Demons sought the world tree. The Calderay, night elves savage and beautiful. Spears bared against the incoming doom. Your instinct bellows. Dana Proudmoore stands before Archimonde's horde beside Tauren whisper wind, human, elf, strange context swirling. Their eyes weigh motivations. Anger readily flashes. Their kin tormented your people, yet Cairne stands beside you. Thrall's stoic gaze rests on Jaina, bleeding silently beside Cenarius's fallen groves, and upon the weeping world tree threatened above. Asterisk for the unborn race of this new land, asterisk, pleads Cairne's steady voice of weathered earth. Shame toward past sins don't matter now. An enemy thirsty only for utter obliteration approached. No room for lingering hatred against savable spirits. Hard decision settles like volcanic ash. Agreements spoken, lines drawn alongside ancient nemesis. Mortal enemies formed an unwilling shield against oblivion high upon Mount Hygel's scarred heights. The stench of fell choked the air, chaos ate the light. Victory stole through unspoken horror, collapse inevitable, until the forgotten slumbering ancients exploded upward. Their roots erupted in vengeful growth, wrapping colossal demonic forms like toes. Locked tight, Archimonde screamed surprise. Your hammer sang, the collective roar of Horde unleashed crashing pain beneath fading demonic blasphemies. Victory tasted unexpected shared, harsh, bought with sacrifice, but secured. Allies witnessed orcish valor kept its oaths. Our banner stood victorious, respected grudgingly, home pulses now. An arid valley beneath sheltering peaks. Orgrimmar rises timber groans under watchful scrutiny, skull-shaped rock face gazes protective downward upon industrious orcs working alongside patient tauren and grinning Darkspear. Life bustles, chaotic, loud, vibrant, craftsmen hammer glowing metal drums into housings. Laborers carve foundations into red stone. Respect flows for water that trickles according to tribal insight drum thoughtfully upon totem poles. You watch it rise, foundations carved by calloused hands yet founded upon shamanic balance. Honor flows around proud tauren stalking the avenues, greeting Thrall, witch doctors keeping ancient wards active. Resilient fires flicker inside hearths, protection built deliberately, stubbornly. It feels solid, true. The crackling firelight paints the rock walls golden inside your modest longhouse. Safe territory earned through honor among comrades. Taking a slow, steadying breath, your gaze falls on the doomhammer, not merely a weapon. Father's inheritance. Grandfather's quiet wisdom manifested, and the burden feels proper. A people move, think, fight, learn, heal beneath this spirit, guided by your understanding of the tides. Your purpose accepts its true shape, vibrating like perfectly harmonizing resonance among elemental cores. Rise or fall. Warch of Thrall stands rooted upon choice made manifest, the foundation stone of a nation reborn securely atop ancient principles of balance and strength and quiet dignity forged fiercely from chains discarded long ago. Ascension floats pungently upon camp smoke swirling skyward between imposing peaks. A sound culture beating strongly inside crumbling old dreams, actively creating roots more firmly. Home, safe, protected, pride settles warmly. The fire continues burning steadily ahead. Your watch endures presently where it should be vigilantly kept. Pine sighs outside peacefully. Rest knew its time would come at last. Nice easy drift now. Towards tomorrow's brightening sky, rest, Warchief. Listen close now. Let me tell you of a burden heavier than mountains, a shadow that clung to my people like a second skin. Green skin, a mark of shame. It wasn't always so on Draenor, Draenor. Winds whispering secrets through tall grasses, earth humming beneath our feet. We were children of that world, speaking to the spirits of fire, water, air, and stone, not masters, no, partners. Respect flowed both ways. Strength came from understanding the land's pulse, not breaking its bones. That was our truth, our honor. Then came Golden. Poison dripped from his promises. Power, he whispered dominion. Enough to shake the stars, he spoke of a pact, a gift from beings of immense power, Mannereth, the name curdles the blood even now. A pit lord, vast as a mountain, dripping corruption, his blood offered in a chalice. A promise of strength and bound, Hellscream, Rome. He drank first, deep, the others followed. That blood, it wasn't strength, it was chains. Chains forged in the deepest pits of the twisting nether. The noble shaman fell silent within us. The spirits turned away, repelled by the stench of fell. What roared up in its place? A red haze, a hunger, not for food, but for slaughter, for the hot rush of blood spraying, bones snapping. The old horde, we became monsters. We tore across worlds, fueled by that demonic fire. Azeroth bled beneath our axes, but the fire burns out. It always does. Defeat came, crushing defeat. The bloodlust faded, leaving only ashes, emptiness, a terrible lethargy, cold and heavy, captured, caged like beasts in human internment camps. The green skin, a constant reminder, not just of defeat, but of the darkness we'd embraced. The guilt, it settled on every orc's shoulders, a crushing weight. Who were we now? Broken things, shadows of warriors, haunted by the ghost of our own savagery. Then Thrall, born a slave, raised by humans. He saw the despair, he felt the emptiness gnawing at his own spirit. He tried warlock magic once, felt its icy claws scrape his soul, saw the twisted glee it brought others. That path, it led only deeper into the pit. He rejected it utterly. He heard whispers, faint, almost lost. Whispers carried on the wind, rumbling deep in the stone, to spirits, the old ways. He sought out Drek'Thar, a frostwolf shaman hidden in the icy peaks of Alterok, an old orc, eyes clouded but spirits sharp as flint. Learning wasn't easy. The elements, they remembered the blood curse. They were wary, angry. Thrall stood before them, not demanding, but pleading, offering respect, humility. He felt the earth's deep, slow patience beneath his hands, the fierce joy of the crackling fire, the cleansing rush of icy water, the wild freedom of the howling wind. He learned to listen, truly listen. Not command, but commune. He became a conduit. The elements flowed through him, not as a weapon first, but as a healer, a beacon. He showed us it was possible, that the chains could be broken, that the spirits hadn't abandoned us forever, that we weren't just monsters. Hope, it was a fragile flame, but Thrall carried it high. But the shadow hadn't lifted completely, not for everyone. Grom Hellscream. Oh, Grom, pride burned in him like a forge. The war-song clan, they remembered the old fury, the raw power of the blood haze. Thrall needed their strength to free our people, to carve a new path. It was a dangerous alliance. Grom respected Thrall, but that demonic itch, it was still there, beneath the surface, the tremor in the hand, a too eager grin at the prospect of battle. Then came Ashenvale, ancient forests breathing magic, night elves defending their sacred groves. Conflict flared, and Mannereth, the architect of our damnation, he found Grom, whispered promises anew, power to crush enemies, power to reclaim glory. The temptation, it was too much. The old chains snapped tight. Grom drank again, that cursed demon blood. The red haze descended over the war song. The slaughter began anew. Our fragile renewal, it hung by a thread. Thrall saw it, the horror, the betrayal. Not just of him, but of everything we were trying to rebuild. He saw the green skin deepening, the madness twisting Grome's noble features. He knew what had to be done. Not vengeance, redemption. He tracked Grome, not to fight him, but to save him. To save us all, they found Mannereth, colossal, dripping venomous arrogance, gloating over his reclaimed puppets. Thrall fought beside Grome, not against him. He fought to clear a path for Grome, to give him one last chance, one final choice. Amidst the chaos, the fell energy choking the air, Thrall reached Grome, looked into his eyes, past the bloodlust. To the proud warrior beneath, he spoke of honor, of breaking the chains, not for weakness, but for freedom. True freedom. Grome, he saw it, saw the trap for what it was, saw the path Thrall offered, a path of sacrifice. With a roar that shook the heavens, a roar of defiance, not madness, Grome turned his axe-gore howl not on Thrall, but on the true enemy, Mannereth. The blow was mighty, earth-shaking. It cleaved the demon's hide. Fell blood, thick as tar, acidic and burning, erupted. It drenched Grome, a killing flood, but as Mannereth fell, bellowing in disbelief, something incredible happened. The chains, they shattered. Not just for Grome, but for every orc across Azeroth. Feel it, imagine that moment. A wave of pure energy, cleansing and cold, washing over you, like plunging into a mountain stream after years in a desert, the constant, low thrum of rage, gone, the green tinge, fading, replaced by the healthy brown of Draenor's earth. Minds cleared, the fog lifted, centuries of demonic poison flushed away in an instant. The weight of guilt remained, yes, we remembered what we'd done. But the compulsion, the curse, broken. Grome died free. He died redeeming his people. He broke the chains Thrall showed him how to shatter. The land Thrall chose. Drek'Thar, harsh, sun-baked cliffs, dry riverbeds, relentless heat. It wasn't a paradise, it was deliberate, a crucible. We would build our strength anew, not with stolen demonic power, but with our own sinew, our own will, with the spirits guiding us. We would learn resilience, patience, respect for the land, even when it was unforgiving. Thrall raised the first stones of Orgrimmar himself, a city not of conquest, but of community, a refuge. The new horde, its heart, shamanism, not warlocks whispering secrets in dark corners, but shamans standing beneath the open sky, hands pressed to the earth, voices raised to the wind. We rebuilt our connection. We honored ancestors not with screams of battle, but with quiet remembrance, with stories told around flickering fires. We learned the names of the spirits again. We asked permission. We gave thanks. The demonic shadow, it still lingers in memory, a warning etched deep, but the chains. Thrall, guided by the spirits, helped us break them. He showed us the path back to the earth, back to ourselves, back to honor. We stand tall now, brown skin warmed by the sun, hearts beating free, listening to the whispers of the world. Finally home, the salt spray stung our faces, sharp and cold. Beneath us the stolen human ships groaned, timbers protesting against the endless gray waves. Lord Darren was a fading shadow behind us, its shores heavy with memories of chains and cages. But Thrall stood firm at the prow, his gaze fixed westward towards a whispered promise. Belimder. This was his gamble, his desperate bid for freedom, commanding a fleet meant for our destruction. carrying a people still scarred by defeat and demonic corruption. We were refugees fleeing a world that hated us, trusting only in the strength of the young warchief who had broken our chains. The sea itself seemed to test that trust. Storms lashed the decks, waves like mountains threatening to swallow us whole. Whispers slithered below decks, fear, doubt. Old warriors, haunted by the blood haze, argued in the dark. Mothers clutched children, their eyes wide with terror at the monstrous shapes glimpsed beneath the churning water. But Thrall walked among us, his voice, steady as bedrock, cut through the panic. He spoke of prophecy, of destiny, but more importantly, he spoke of home a land where we could forge our own fate, free from masters, human or demon. He reminded us of the strength we still possessed, the honor we were reclaiming. He weathered the storms with us, his presence a bulwark against despair, and then Kalimdor. Not gentle shores, but a harsh, sun-baked coastline, jagged cliffs, sparse scrubland, relentless heat. Some murmured disappointment, expecting a land flowing with milk and honey. Thrall saw something else. He saw a crucible. This harshness, he declared, would temper us. It would forge a new generation strong enough to deserve freedom, resilient enough to build something lasting. This unforgiving coast wasn't a mistake. It was a deliberate choice, a reflection of his belief that true strength is born from overcoming adversity. We dragged the ships ashore, our feet finally on solid ground, the scent of dust and unfamiliar plants thick in the air. This was it, the beginning. Our scouts ranged inland, cautious. Soon word came of vast, gentle creatures herding great beasts across golden plains. The tauren. Cairne Bloodhoof, the elder chieftain, met Thrall with ancient eyes that held deep wisdom. There was no immediate clash, only wary assessment. Thrall spoke not of conquest, but of seeking a place for his people. He spoke of the spirits of the earth and sky, of the shamanistic path he was restoring among the orcs. Cairne listened. He saw the sincerity in Thrall, the shared reverence for the natural world, the deep respect for ancestors. Here, amidst the rolling plains of Mulgore, an alliance was forged, not out of desperation, but out of kinship. The tauren offered guidance, knowledge of the land. The Horde gained its first true allies, bound by spirit and earth. But Kalimdor held other dangers further south on the mist-shrouded Echo Isles. We found the Darkspear trolls besieged. Vicious Naga, led by the sea witch Zarjira, sought to drown them. Vol'jin, their fierce leader, fought a desperate battle against tides and serpentine warriors. Thrall didn't hesitate. Orc warriors crashed on to the beaches alongside troll defenders. Axes met scaled flesh. Shaman called upon the elements to counter Zarjir's dark sorcery. It was brutal, chaotic fighting amidst crashing waves and crumbling ruins. We prevailed. Vol'jin, indebted but proud, pledged the loyalty of the Darkspear trolls to Thrall and his vision. The Horde grew stronger, more diverse. Our strength lay not just in muscle, but in unity forged in shared struggle. This unity faced its first major test in the ancient forest of Ashenvale. We needed timber, resources to build. To survive, the towering trees seemed endless, but the night elves, guardians of those woods for millennia, saw only invaders. Silent harrows whisper from the shadows. Ancient warriors materialized from the gloom, defending their sacred groves with lethal grace Clashes were sudden, fierce, and costly. Thrall sought parley, tried to explain our need, but the wounds were fresh, the distrust deep. These early skirmishes weren't just battles over wood. They etched the first bitter lines of conflict between Horde and Alliance on Kalimdor, a tension that would shape the fate of the continent. With allies secured and enemies identified, Thrall turned his full focus to the dream, a city. He led us deep into the canyons, a place of red rock and scorching sun. The Valley of Trials. It was harsh, yes, but perfect. Steep cliffs offered natural defenses, a fortress carved by the earth itself. Here, Orgrimmar would rise. Thrall envisioned more than walls and huts. He saw a symbol. Every stone laid was a rejection of our enslaved past, a declaration of rebirth. The architecture blended raw practicality. Thick ramparts, watchtowers piercing the sky, with the sacred totems carved with ancestral faces watched over gateways. Communal spaces, like the Valley of Wisdom, were designed for gathering, for sharing stories under the stars, honoring the spirits and the bonds of clan. Thrall wasn't a distant ruler overseeing plans. He was in the dust and sweat, hauling stone alongside laborers, his massive frame straining. He mediated disputes between proud clan leaders, reminding them that the strength of the whole outweighed individual pride. He embedded the codes of honor, respect, and shamanic tradition into the very laws of the fledgling city. Orgrimmar wasn't just built. It was forged, stone by stone, law by law, reflecting Thrall's soul. Yet Drek'Thar, the land we claimed around Orgrimmar, was far from secure. From the dusty barrens came the skittering hordes of the Quillbore, thorny and relentless, raiding our fledgling settlements. From the north, the savage centaur tribes swept down like a desert storm, their hooves pounding the earth, testing our defenses constantly. Thrall met these threats head-on, organizing defenses, leading warriors to protect farmers and caravans. He understood survival meant vigilance. Then came the greater shadow. Admiral Proudmoore, the humans of Theramore, survivors of Lord Darren led by Jaina Proudmoore, sought peace initially. But her father, the old admiral, saw only the orcs who had ravaged his homeland. He arrived with warships, cannons roaring, determined to finish what he believed the Alliance had failed to do. Exterminate us. His naval invasion struck at our vulnerable coastlines. Thrall faced perhaps his most agonizing battle. Fighting humans again felt like stepping back into a nightmare. Yet, defending Drek'Thar, defending this hard-won chance at a future, was non-negotiable. Through fierce coastal battles and desperate holds, we repelled Proudmoore's assault. It was a brutal reminder that our past would forever haunt our present, but also proof that Drek'Thar could be defended. Within Orgrimmar's growing walls, Thrall wrestled with quieter battles, how to govern. The old ways were clan-centric, fiercely independent. Could proud warriors accustomed to following only their chieftain accept the broader authority of a war chief? Thrall walked a delicate line. He respected clan traditions, their internal leadership. But for Drek'Thar to survive, for the Horde to stand united against external threats, central decisions were needed. Resource allocation, defense pacts, laws binding all. He used his immense personal respect, his proven wisdom, and the shared vision of a free homeland to weave these threads together. The title Warchief became less about command and more about stewardship, guiding the collective towards survival and prosperity. Slowly, steadily, the dream took root. Drek'Thar ceased to be just a name on a map. It became a reality. Fields, though arid, yielded crops under the tireless work of peons. Orgrimmar's gate stood strong, echoing with the sounds of a living city. Smiths hammering, traders bartering, children laughing in the dusty streets. The red canyons, once forbidding, now felt like sheltering arms here. Under the vast Kalimdor sky, Thrall's vision manifested. Orcs governed themselves. No demonic bloodlust drove us. No human master held our chains. We stood alongside trusted allies. Cairne's steadfast tauren, Vol'jin as fiercely loyal Darkspear trolls. Bound by mutual respect, forged in shared struggle and shared purpose. The hearth fires burning in Orgrimmar were lit by free hands. The wind whispering through the valley of wisdom carried the promise of a future he had built ourselves, stone by hard. One stone, Thrall, architect of this new nation, stood watch, his gaze forever fixed on protecting this fragile, precious dream called home. Okay, settle and close your eyes if you like. Let's step on to the dusty plains of Drek'Thar, back to a time when the Horde wasn't just armies clashing, but an asterisk idea forged in fire, tempered by loyalty ... and shaped by the bonds its leader forged. Think of Thrall, green skin, muscles honed by hardship, eyes that held the weight of two worlds. His story isn't just his, it's woven from the threads of those he walked beside, clashed with, learned from, and loved. Some brought pain, others brought wisdom, but each left their mark deep on his soul, defining the Horde that stands today. First, the shadows of fathers, not comforting presences, but impossible to ignore. Imagine a cold stone tower, damp and smelling of salt and human ambition. That was Blackmoor's world. His lessons weren't gentle. It was the sting of the lash teaching obedience and defiance. It was grim strategy, books cracked open under threat, tactics learned amidst the bruising chaos of the gladiator pit. Every sword thrust you mastered kept you alive, for his amusement, for his plans. Thrall learned to fight, truly fight, under that man's cruel gaze. He learned cunning, reading maps and men's weaknesses. He learned human speech and letters, but deeper than ink on a page, deeper than the scars. He learned the choking weight of tyranny, the bitter taste of living as property. Blackmoor made him strong, but it was a poisoned strength. Then Doomhammer. The Volf, a silhouette in the rain outside his cage, whispering a name he barely knew. Goel, son of Durotan, the Warchief who ended his sire's life, yet had carried his father's medallion like an oath. Doomhammer didn't offer gentle hands, he offered something far heavier. Truth. His own people, heritage, a past stolen, smeared by demon blood. Doomhammer spoke of an Orgrimmar that could be, not one enslaved. He passed him the black plate, the armor of a Warchief, rough-hewn power made solid. He spoke of honor tarnished, but reclaimable. It wasn't affection, not how you might imagine. It was necessity, recognition, and a burden placed squarely on Thrall's broad shoulders. Lead them, free them, find the honor we lost. Doomhammer was a ruthless teacher, but his harsh lessons were of responsibility, of a purpose higher than mere survival. He demanded Thrall rise above the dark paths they'd trodden before, Blackmoor forged the weapon. Doomhammer showed him what destiny it must serve. Thrall crushed Blackmoor's legacy utterly. He rebuilt Doomhammer's temper it with mercy and spirit, making the Horde something the late Warchief might have only dreamed of, something cleansed of the old darkness. Then came the brothers, not by blood, but by sweat and fire. Think of fury given an orcish form, Grommash Hellscream, the roar of war-songed drums pounded in Thrall's ears. Fierce loyalty, bone-deep respect, they understood each other's scars. They fought side by side, blades carving freedom across the wastelands. Thrall saw in Grom a burning beacon of orcish might, a champion, but he saw the shadow too, the flicker of that primal bloodlust, that deep, terrifying fear just below the surface. Fear not just asterisk of asterisk Grom, fear asterisk for asterisk him, for where that rage might lead. To see his bravest, his fiercest brother engulfed again by the corruption they fought so hard to shed. It was a wound deeper than any blade. Thrall knew that shadow. He tasted its potential coiling in his own heart. Sometimes the Mannereth blood ran deep. Grom's final act, the strike that shattered the world tree curse, was salvation, redemption paid in blood. But the grief, it never truly left Thrall. Guilt lingered, sharp. Had he been strong enough? Could he have held Grom back? Grom became both martyr and cautionary tale, forever etched pale in Thrall's mind. Proof of the razor's edge the Horde walked, a constant reminder of the darkness they must guard against within their own spirit. And then Cairne Bloodhoof. Oh, the solid earth underfoot after storm. That was Cairne. Imagine the scent of warm grasslands, the lowing of great Kodo, the slow stamp of hooves that could shake hills. He smelled of herbs and hide and deep, grounded patience. Where Grom was wildfire, Cairne was the ancient oak. He offered counsel like cool water, unwasted words, steeped in the cycles of the world. Thrall saw in him the Warchief the other races might follow, noble, steeped in honor, wise. Cairne taught without preaching, about patience, and Thrall burned with haste, about the strength and stillness, about kneading the spirits and the earth, about the value of all life, not just orcish strength. He was the anchor when ambition threatened to pull the young Horde onto unseen rocks. Cairne didn't just advise, he embody, the ideals Thrall desperately wanted the new Horde to hold sacred, respect, community, quiet strength grounded in something larger than war. He was the father figure Thrall never truly had, showing him a path illuminated by more than just blades and fury. Surprises came too, bonds forged in urgent necessity under impossible skies. Mount Hyjal, fire raining from the heavens, the whole world screaming its end, humans, orcs, night elves, shoulder to shoulder, because the only alternative was no shoulders at all. Jaina Proudmoore, human archmage, her father hunted his kind, yet there she stood, facing annihilation. She offered parley, alliance, terrifying necessity, and at worked forged in that inferno. Thrall saw something unthinkable. Cooperation between human and orc wasn't just possible, it was necessary for survival. Jaina became an uncomfortable, challenging proof that the old hatreds could be overcome, that enemies weren't defined solely by their lineage. She pushed open a door in Thrall's mind, a crack admitting light into the isolation imposed by Blackmoor's walls and the internment camps, and Vol'jin, tall, sharp, bones rattling softly, eyes seeing into shadows others missed. Master of secrets and whispers, the Darkspear leader didn't pledge blind loyalty. His loyalty was fierce, razor-sharp, pragmatic. He saved Thrall's life. His people became Thrall's people, united against shared obliteration on the islands of the South Seas. While Thrall's soul sang with the elements, Vol'jin navigated the murky currents of politics and survival with cunning instinct. He offered shrewd advice, warnings like honed daggers, grounded perception when Thrall's vision was clouded by hope or duty. Building Drek'Thar was chaos, famine, enemies clawing at the borders, pressure like mountains. Vol'jin was the steady hum of the jungle at night, watchful, vital, unflinching. He taught Thrall that strength lay not just in the roar of the war song, but in silent steps, unseen eyes, and unwavering earned loyalty from those who saw clearly the paths others missed. All these threads wove the tapestry. Into the fold stepped others, the anchors of his daily burden, Nazgrel, loyal like steel, commander you didn't command but asked. Rexer, the Machanathal, strength aimed true, championing the Horde not out of allegiance to power, but to its promise, a refuge for outcasts, for survival. And Eitrigg, white-haired, bearing scars of a shamed past, yet eyes burning with recovered honor, he was living proof the old ways held worth, proof that the guilt Thrall felt for his people's demon-blighted past could be transformed. Eitrigg wore his restored pride like the second skin Doomhammer had gifted Thrall. He was hope solidified, walking Thrall's strength as Warchief. It wasn't demanding fealty. It was building trust, brick by hard-earned brick, sitting in council, listening more than speaking, truly hearing Cairne's slow words, taking Vol'jin's whispered truths seriously, accepting the fierce counsel of Grom, all knowing its peril, showing the vulnerability to grieve brother, choosing the harder path when tyrant Blackmoor would have chosen the fist. Chieftain, not conqueror, and that truly is the Horde's soul. It's the spirit Thrall breathed into that rough, hewn stone city of Orgrimmar. It wasn't born in a council chamber. It was forged in the shared breath beside Cairne at the campfire, in the silent understanding with Vol'jin under desert moons, in the grieving thunder of hammerfall drumming for Grom, in the quiet weight of Doomhammer's legacy armor, in the hard-earned trust shimmering between him and Jaina amidst world-end fire. It's the strength of unbreakable bonds, family found in fire, Orc and tauren and troll, Machanathal and forsaken, united because he led asterisk, not as a master wielding a leash, but as a brother building a home, a Horde strong enough not just to conquer, but to endure. The Horde stands because his loyalty built their loyalty stronger than stone. Now, breathe deep, remember the strength earned together, the fires passed through side by side. Sleep finds you safe in the shelter of bonds well forged. Rest. Listen closely now. Close your eyes. Feel the dry earth beneath you. Smell the distant smoke on the wind. We speak of roots, deep roots torn asunder, and the one who dared to mend them, Thrall the shaman king. Asterisk, I, broken spirits, The orc's spiritual decay **** imagined Draenor before the shadow fell. Not barren, but alive, truly alive. The wind wasn't just air moving. It was the breath of a great spirit, whispering secrets to the shaman who listened with reverence. The earth wasn't just dirt. It was the strong, patient bones of the world, felt through bare feet, honored with every step. Fire wasn't just destruction. It was the fierce, cleansing heartbeat of life, respected, appeased. Water flowed with the wisdom of ages, quenching thirst, carrying stories. And the ancestors, their voices rustled in the leaves, echoed in the mountains. Every hunt, every birth, every gathering began with a plea to these spirits, a sharing of breath and intention. The orcs lived * within * the world, partners in a vast, breathing tapestry. Then came golden honeyed poison. Power, he promised, victory, dominion. But the cost was the soul itself. That warlock magic, thick and cloying like spoiled blood, it didn't just offer power. It severed the cords. The elemental spirits recoil. Their voices, once a comforting chorus, became faint cries lost in a howling void. The ancestors wept in silence and heard that sacred connection snapped, and into that terrible emptiness rushed the fell. Demonic rage, hot and bitter, filled the hollow spaces where reverence once lived. The land itself sickened under their feet, mirroring the sickness within. And after the war, after defeat, locked in those stinking internment camps, it wasn't just chains on their wrists, it was chains on their spirits. That lethargy, that dullness in their eyes, it was more than despair. It was the profound disconnection made manifest. They were ghosts haunting their own bodies, cut off from the sky, the stone, the fire, the water, and the voices of those who came before. A people adrift, their very essence bleeding away into silence. * 2. Thrall's calling. Healer of a people ***, now picture Thrall. Raised among humans, taught tactics, history, but not this ***, not the storm inside him. He didn't understand the tremors in the earth when his anger flared. He didn't know why sudden gusts would whip around him in moments of fierce joy or deep sorrow. He felt the power, raw and terrifying, but it was a wild thing, lashing out uncontrolled, a geyser bursting through cracked stone. It frightened him, this unseen force that answered his rawest emotions. Until the frost wolves, until Drek'Thar, blind but seeing deeper than any sighted man. He recognized the storm within the young slave. Not warlock corruption. No, this was the old power, the true power, screaming to be acknowledged, to be shaped. The training, it was agony. Not of the body, though that was hard enough, but of the spirit, learning stillness when every instinct screamed for action, sitting for hours on cold stone, not commanding, but asking, listening for the faintest sigh of the air spirit, the slow, grinding patience of the earth spirit, the playful flicker of the fire spirit, the deep, cool murmur of the water spirit. Drek'Thar taught him the language of the world, wordless but profound, bargaining, not demanding, offering respect, receiving guidance, honoring the ancestors, feeling their watchful presence like warmth on your back in the cold. And Thrall learned slowly, painfully, the first time he truly connected not a surge of power, but a gentle flow, kneeling by a blighted patch of earth near an internment camp fence, placing his palms on the lifeless soil. not forcing life, but asking the earth spirit to remember its strength, offering his own strength, his hope, feeling a faint, reluctant pulse beneath his hands, then a single, brave green shoot pushing through the ash. Just one, but the gasps from the orcs watching, the dull eyes flickering with something ancient, something forgotten. Hope asterisk. That tiny sprout was a beacon. Thrall wasn't just freeing bodies. He was rekindling a spark long thought extinguished. He was the conduit, the healer mending the broken connection between a people and the living world they had forsaken. Asterisk 3. Rituals of renewal. Shamanism as statcraft asterisk Thrall became Warchief. But he didn't shed the Wolf pup for just plate armor. The shaman's staff became as vital as the Doomhammer. This wasn't just about battles and borders anymore. It was about spirit. Shamanism wasn't tucked away in hidden groves. It became the bedrock of the new Horde's very existence. Before marching, not just scouts and supplies, Thrall would stand on a windswept hill, bare feet on the stone, communing, asking the air spirits for clear paths and swift messengers, seeking the earth spirit's blessing for stable ground and strong fortifications, appeasing the fire spirit for control, forge work, and fierce courage, honoring the water spirit for safe crossings and clear minds. Major decisions weren't made solely in war councils. They were taken to the spirits, their whispers considered alongside tactical reports. Ancestral veneration became public ceremony. The names of heroes past were called upon during gatherings, their wisdom invoked, their sacrifices remembered aloud so the wind could carry their echoes. The furies of Kalimdor, wild and enraged by the old hordes, felt taint and the legion's corruption. Thrall faced them, not with armies, but with humility and shamanic strength. He stood before the raging whirlwind, the trembling mountain, the furious geyser, the churning maelstrom, and spoke the language of apology, of respect, of renewed balance. He calmed them not through domination, but through understanding and pact. He showed the elements that this horde was different. This horde sought harmony, not dominion, responsibility, not ravaging. Thrall walked a razor's edge, Warchief commanding armies, shaman communing with spirits. He was the bridge. He translated the needs of his people to the elemental world and the warnings of the spirits back to his people. His strength lay in this duality. The warrior who understood the spirit of the stone he stood upon, the leader who knew the ancestors watched his every move. Asterisk 4. Echoes in stone. Shamanism in Horde culture asterisk look at Orgrimmar. Really low. It's not just a fortress. It's a prayer carved in stone and wood. Those towering windrider spires, they aren't just lookout points. They are fingers reaching towards the sky, honoring the air spirits, catching their whispers. The deep pools scattered throughout the city, they aren't just reservoirs. They are sacred spaces for the water spirits, places of reflection and calm, the cleft of shadow. It acknowledges the necessary darkness, the hidden things, the spirits of shadow and earth's depths, not banishing them, but giving them their due place. The city breathes with shamanic intent, and Thrall knew his time as leader wouldn't last forever. The tradition couldn't rest on one pair of shoulders, so he fostered it. Shamans became revered teachers, not just warriors. Young orcs, their eyes bright with the old curiosity, were taught the ways Drek'Thar taught Thrall: meditation, listening, bargaining, honoring ancestors. The sacred fires burned in training grounds. The drumbeats that once signaled war now often pulsed with the rhythm of the earth, teaching focus, teaching connection. The future was being woven anew. This became the Horde's moral anchor. Look back at the old Horde, fueled by demonic fury, leaving only scorched earth and shattered souls. The new Horde, its strength came from harmony, from understanding that true power lies not in asterisk taking asterisk from the world, but in asterisk belonging asterisk to it, in respecting the spirits that sustain life and honoring the ancestors who paved the way. Shamanism taught responsibility. It taught that every action echoes in the spirit world. It taught that rage unchecked is poison, but rage tempered by wisdom and respect is a forge fire. Thrall, the shaman king, didn't just give the orcs freedom, he gave them back their soul. He restored the balance, mending the tear between the orc and the living world. He made them whole again. Feel that balance now. The deep, resonant hum of the earth beneath Orgrimmar, the clean bite of the wind off the mesa, the warmth of the communal fire, the quiet strength in an orc's eyes, no longer dulled by disconnection, but shining with the light of restored spirits. That is Thrall's legacy. That is the true strength of the Horde. Rest now. Feel the world breathe around you. Feel the balance. Close your eyes now. Let your thoughts drift to red earth beneath your feet. Dry wine carrying the scent of sage and dust. Kalimdor, a harsh land far from the rolling steppes and shadowed forests of a world lost. Draenor, its memory burns bright in the heart of the Warchief. Thrall, he carries more than a title. He carries the weight of a people's past and the desperate hope for their future. He stands here on this sun-baked soil, not to forget Draenor, but to rebuild its spirit. Brick by brick, tradition by tradition, honor by honor. Feel the strength of the clan bonds deep as Draenor's roots. Thrall knows this power. He doesn't dissolve the clans into one gray mass. No. Listen. Hear the thunder of hooves. That's the war song outriders, patrolling the borders, fierce and swift as wolves on the hunt. Their war cries echoing the open plains they once knew. Over the ridge, silent as snowfall, move the Frostwolf scouts. Eyes sharp, senses honed by generations surviving the Frostfire's bite, distinct, proud. Each clan keeps its soul, its way of fighting, its way of seeing the world. Their unique strengths weave together, forming the Horde's shield and spear. Thrall preserves this. He honors the martial code, the fierce loyalty to kin and chieftain that held the clans together, even in darkness. Victory isn't just conquest. It's proving your strength protects your people. That's Draenor's steel core, beating strong in Drek'Thar's chest. The past isn't just tactics. It's breath and bone. Ancestors walk beside them. Thrall makes sure their voices aren't lost in this new sky. He weaves Draenor's grand tales, the sagas of heroes like Orgrimmar Doomhammer, Grommash Hellscream, Durotan himself, into the very fabric of Drek'Thar. Storytellers gather children beneath the shade of rough-hewn shelters, spinning yarns of Black Hand's ambition, Nursehul's folly, the beauty of Nagrand before the green fire fell. These aren't just lessons, they're lifelines back to who they were. Monuments rise from the red stone, not just statues, but symbols. Look at the towering figures guarding the entrance to the Valley of Wisdom. They speak of lineage, of sacrifice, reminding every young orc gazing up, You come from giants, you carry their blood, you asterisk their legacy. And names hold power. Thrall shed the label forced upon him in chains. He reclaimed Go, his true name, a gift whispered by his murdered parents. That single act, reclaiming Go, was a declaration. We are not slaves. We are not monsters. We are the children of Draenor. We remember. But Draenor's ways couldn't simply be transplanted whole onto Kalimdor's unforgiving ground. Thrall understood adaptation wasn't betrayal, it was survival. Respecting Draenor meant reshaping its wisdom for a new sun. Think of the hunter-gatherers of Nagran, tracking Clefthoof across endless golden grass, reading the wind, knowing every waterhole. That deep resilience, that intimate connection to the land's rhythms, Thrall channeled it, not for chasing game now, but for coaxing life from Durotar's dust. Ingenuity bloom, canals snake through the arid land, catching precious monsoon rains, guided by shamanic whispers to the water spirits. Terraced farms clung stubbornly to hillsides, growing hardy crops Draenor never knew. They learned the secrets of Kalimdor's stubborn earth, repurposing ancient Draenor survival skills into a new kind of endurance. Building a home demanded shelter echoing their spirit. Look at Orgrimmar, feel its weight. Those massive mud brick walls, thick and imposing, recall the sturdy fortifications of Bloodspire Keep, built to withstand Bloodspire ogre assaults. Yet they curve and rise differently, shaped by Kalimdor's sun, fortified against centaur raids and alliance incursions. Step inside the longhouses, hear the low murmur of voices, smell roasting meat and earthy spices, that communal warmth, the shared hearth, the sense of belonging under one strong roof. That's Draenor's heart, beating in Durotar's body. A familiar echo made new the spirits Draenor pulsed with them. The whispering winds of Nagran, the molten fury of the Gorgon earth, the deep, patient song of Zanger's fungal forests. Thrall kept that reverence alive. Shamanism wasn't discarded, it was the bedrock. But Kalimdor's spirits spoke a different dialect. The earth here was older, drier, scarred by different wars. The winds carried the salt tang of the ocean, not the pollen of endless plains. The water's spirits flowed through deep, hidden aquifers, not rushing glacial rivers. Thrall taught his people to listen anew. Rituals adapted, offerings changed. The core remained: respect the balance, honor the elements, for they are life itself. Draenor's spiritual language translated, finding profound meaning in Kalimdor's ancient song. Yet, honoring Draenor also meant rejecting its darkest chapters. Thrall drew a line in the red sand, deep and unyielding. The shadow of Gul'dan, the stench of fell magic, the hollow eyes of the first death knights. That path led only to ruin and chains. Thrall forbade it. Absolutely, warlocks skulked in the shadows. Not in his horde, necromancy's chill touch. An abomination, he rooted out that poison, purging the legacy that damned the old horde on Draenor and doomed them again on Azeroth. He reclaimed the very word horde. Once it meant a conquering wave, fueled by demon blood and an endless hunger. Thrall poured new meaning into it. The horde became a coalition of survivors, orcs, trolls, tauren bound not by conquest, but by mutual need, shared hardship, and the fierce desire for a place to simply be sovereignty, not supremacy. And he learned from Draenor's wounds. He saw how the old Horde's endless wars bled Draenor dry, cracking its continents, poisoning its skies. Thrall chose a different path: sustainability, growth rooted in the land, careful stewardship. Drek'Thar wouldn't be a launching pad for endless war. It would be a stronghold, a home nurtured, a testament to resilience, not recklessness. He built for generations, not just the next battle. This new life needed celebration, remembrance woven into joy. So Thrall revived the Kosharg. Feel the energy surge, the thud of bodies in wrestling pits, the ring of steel in sparring circles, the cheers echoing off Orgrimmar's walls. Test of strength, skill, and honor. Draenor's martial spirit alive and vital. Elders gather circles of wide-eyed younglings, voices rich with tales of Draenor's heroes and horrors, ensuring the past isn't forgotten. And then the feasts, long tables groan under the weight of Kalimdor's bounty, roasted kodo, spiced bread, tart fruits shared freely among clan, tribe, and ally. Laughter mingles with song, forging bonds stronger than steel. This is Draenor's communal fire, rekindled under Kalimdor's stars, warming the heart of the new horde. Thrall's dream wasn't just stone walls and farms. It was spirit. Drek'Thar stands as his living monument. Every mud brick shaped by orcish hands whispers of Draenor's soul. Every clan banner fluttering in the dry wind echoes the standards of a lost world. Every shaman's prayer honors ancestors whose bones lie across the twisting nether. Here, in the dust and the sun and the resilient green shoots pushing through cracked earth, Draenor's soul found refuge. It's not a replica, it's a rebirth. The Horde Thrall Forge carries Draenor's indomitable spirit, its courage, its clan loyalty, its reverence for earth and ancestor without being shackled to its demons, its bloodlust, its self-destruction. They are inheritors, yes, fiercely proud of the strength and resilience Draenor forged in them. But they are also innovators, learning, adapting, building something worthy of the sacrifices made across shattered worlds. Draenor's echo lives, not as a fading memory, but as the strong, steady heartbeat of Drek'Thar. Feel it, that pulse beneath your feet. That's the past and the future, beating as one. Rest now, the spirit endures. The rustle of ancient ashen veil leaves whispered anxieties around Thrall. This forest wasn't their birthright, he knew. Tall, shadowed sentinels stretched towards the sky, and sharp eyes watched from the canopied Teldrassil's children, fiercely protective. The scent of pine and damp earth mingled with the tang of orcish sweat and impatience. Grom Hellscream's growl was like bedrock grinding, thick with outrage. They needed timber, yes, walls for Drek'Thar's burgeoning settlements, ships for the ragged east coast, but Stormreach's people. They saw only axe blades biting deep into sacred wood, deaf to explanations. Thrall's hand, heavy on the grip of the Doomhammer, felt tremors of violence in the air, a tangible pressure. Restraint was a chain Grom strained against, a deep-seated instinct, finding that impossible path-viability without desecration. Need without slaughter became Thrall's first, exhausting dance as Warchief. Every snap twig under an orcish boot felt like a step towards calamity. Then came the sea winds, sharp and briny, carrying sails none in Kalimdor wished to see. Admiral Pramoor's fleet darkened the horizon beyond Theramore Isle. Cannon fire a rude punctuation on the vast blue canvas. Old hatred breath hard down Thrall's neck. Hatred had fled Lord Darren to escape. Here it was, vengeance unleashed. Retreat deeper into harsh Durotar meant certain death for his fledgling nation. Meet it head-on. Theramore wasn't just stone and soldiers. Draenor resided there. His heart hammered against his ribs, a drumbeat equal parts strategy and sorrow. Rallying the disparate strengths became paramount. Tauren earth warders anchoring the shoreline. Troll shadow hunters flowing like poison mist through shallows. His own war songs transforming fury into an unbreachable wall. This defense wasn't mere fury, it was proof of the horde forged in this harsh land, a defiant, unified roar against annihilation. Seeing the admiral's ships burn amidst Jaina's cries was a hollow victory, thorns wrapped tight around its core. Unity, though, proved a demanding lover back within their sanctuary. The dust-wallow marsh edges became contested boundaries, thick with echo, bat cries echoing Darkspear grievances about Cairn's sacred Mulgore peaks seen as too distant. Elder crone whispers among thunder bluff kodos spoke of torn ancestral grounds encroached by orcish work crews seeking sandstone. Even minor clan chieftains grumbled, old rivalries resurfacing under the punishing sun. Thrall felt the politics cling to him like Durotar dust. His council fires became crucibles worn smooth by constant turning, listening, interpreting the low rumble of Cairne Bloodhoof advocating for open hearts and patience. The steely glint in Vol'jin eyes urging prudence, a watchfulness for blades hidden in moon shadows, weaving compromise from ancient grievances, stitch by careful stitch. By night the stars above Orgrimmar offered cold comfort. The horde must stand as one, or fracture under the weight of Kalimdor itself. The very air curdled then, thick with the stench of molten feld and desperation. Archimonde's shadow swallowed the stars, Nordrassil wept amber sap. This foe was oblivion incarnate, alliance or annihilation. Sitting across from Jaina Proudmoore, her grief-stricken face mirroring his own anguish, felt surreal. Malfurion Stormridge's ancient presence, eyes holding millennia of distrust directed elsewhere for now. Pragmatism became a bitter root Thrall chewed. Survival demanded swallowing ancient bile. The pact was thin ice over a fell, fire lake. His skeptical orcs manned the grim line at the foot of Hygel, shoulder to rigid shoulder, with gleaming stormwind plate and intricate night elf silverleaf. Axes rose, fell, shots mingled Corcoran bellows alongside Kulturan war cries under a sky choked with demonic carrion birds. It was pure, hard courage, holding the impossible pass. Thrown back, rising, holding again. When the ancient magics finally tore Archimonde asunder, the silence among the exhausted victors was thick, fragile, precious. Orc met human eye without immediate hatred. A grudging nod replaced a sword swing, yet the quiet after resonated not with peace, but a profound fragility. Walking away from Jaina near the scarred shores of Ashen Vale, the old weight settled back as if never lifted. Suspicion was a familiar cloak worn by both sides. Could the shared trial erase lifetimes of spilled blood? Hope fell like clutching smoke. The truce offered possibility, a chillingly delicate glass sphere in the same breath as exhausted suspicion warned it might shatter. A whisper. Thrall carried that fragile weight back to Orgrimmar's stark peaks. Could earned respect through valor morph into lasting trust? Building a homeland demanded more than crude fortifications. Every sunrise over the blistering sands brought knowing dilemmas. Scouts reported brown-tusked raiders skirting Mulgore's edges, seeking prey. Thunder Bluff demanded justice. But sending grunt patrols deep into the sacred mesas risked offending Cairne Bloodhoof's deeply held reverence for the land. His voice, calm as mountain stone, counseled honor and open declaration, consequences viewed without fear. Vol'jin, practically etched of shadows, at the edge of the map room, murmured pointed warnings about Gilnean prowlers possibly using the confusion, advocating Darkspear knives in the unmapped dark. Thrall's doomhammer rested heavy against the war table. Using force felt like conceding failure, holding Drek'Thar by ruthless right. That was warped steel unsuited to this new world. Every deployment order tasted like ash. One name endlessly echoed in his mind: safety, shelter for the orcish mothers, the troll children play-mulling kudo calves, the elderly tauren artisans etching their stories. They weren't conquerors huddled in stolen keeps. They sought hearthfire, not empire. So vision became ingrained, duty shaped flesh. From sinew and resolve the Corcoran, chosen not merely for battle lust, but for steadfastness, capable of nuance beyond blind axe swinging. Protectors embodying his own ironclad principle. The Horde shield would be raised only in defense, never the first bleeding blow. Fortify shores, tend the brittle ground, build ordered walls, bows, stubborn against the desert wind, sheltering those learning trades beyond war. Cairne's quiet pride was felt, Vol'jin's cautious approval noted. Yet Thrall knew doctrine wasn't armor. Thoughts lingered on the haunted eyes of ashen veils, sentinels seeing not gardeners, but lumberjacks. Doctrine demanded navigating perpetual threat. That navigation, the endless dance on the knife's edge, forged the legacy. The sound of smithing hammers shaping plowshares became the heartbeat of Drek'Thar. Orcs grew into scholars beneath Cairne's patient tutelage. Troll ritualists added chants for bountiful harvests alongside poisons. Tauren contributed grain sheaves to Raven Hill's winter stores. The Horde banner, once synonymous with reckless power, unfurled under Thrall's watch as a symbol of distinct possibility. Here, loyalty earned more than demanded, sacrifice offered for hearth and kin. Honor tempered the warrior's strength. They were fierce guardians. These patchwork peoples of the dry red earth, proved at Hyjal, fortified in Theramor's shadow, woven into the very dust of Drek'Thar. The world saw potential amidst peril. Thrall Warchief, bearing an immense weight, with steady hands, had carved a path. Not one built on rubble, but hard-won respect. A path where strength served survival, and survival perhaps nurtured hope. You know, when you look at Azeroth now, really feel its heartbeat. One name echoes through every mountain pass and every city stone. Thrall, he wasn't just a warchief, he was the architect of a new world. Let's go back to the beginning, when orcs wore chains instead of pride. They were monsters in human eyes and in their own, broken, shadowed by demon blood. Thrall, he saw the ember beneath the ash. He didn't just free them physically. He dug into their bones and woke up their asterisk souls. He taught them shamanism wasn't just whispers on the wind. It was the molten core of who they were before the Legion poisoned them, the way Earth speaks when you place your palm on it, the crackle of lightning in your blood during a storm. This was their birthright. Honor wasn't just a warrior's boast anymore. It was the mortar between the stones of Orgrimmar. Did you see it, that shift? From green fury to brown strength, Manoroth's curse lifting, it wasn't just skin deep. You could see it in their eyes. The weight they stood under wasn't cruelty anymore, it was responsibility. Builders raising walls not to conquer, but to shelter. That's the identity he reforged, from shattered puppets to stoic guardians. Now picture the eastern kingdoms then, humans striding like they owned the tides, dwarves in their mountain keeps, Gilneas behind its wall. It was blue and gold as far as the eye could see. Then came Thrall, leading a ragged fleet into tempest no sailor would brave, Kalimdor, untamed, huge. He didn't just find land for his people. He sparked an explosion that cracked the map wide open. Orgrimmar's gates opened, yes, but look wider. Cairne Bloodhoof's slow nod as he grasped Thrall's arm, the beginning of the tauren oath. Vol'jin's sly smile in the Darkspear's shadow jungles, finding not a master, but a brother. The Horde became a mosaic of tusks and horns and teeth under one banner. Can you feel how the world shook? Those forests in Ashen Vale where sentinels met orcish scouts. That tense line of axes and glaives, that was revolution. No longer kingdoms talking down to prisoners. This was a sovereign roar shaking the thrones of Stormwind. Forced the lion to see a bull, a troll, and an orc standing firm as a continent. It reshaped everything but legacies aren't carved in obsidian, are they? Thrall wielded the doomhammer like a shaman's focus, channeling the world's spirit. Then came Garrosh, pure, sharp, brutal Orgrimmar graveyard steel. Thrall handed him the hammer, hoping for fire tempered by earth. He got wildfire. Remember the streets of Orgrimmar? That stink of hatred, the grimace on Bane's noble face as he defied orders. Vol'jin whispering in rebellion's shadows. Garrosh threw stones like hammers, shattering what Thrall glued together. And yet the foundation held. You saw it, didn't you? When the Darkspear leader rose not as a king, but as the people's voice. To ask which one of us not be dying today for Garrosh. None. That's your answer. And Baina. His hoofbeats were thunder on the red sand, shield raised for not just tauren. Through civil war, through Pandaria's mist-shrouded horrors, that core that Thrall forged, the belief that the Horde wasn't a war machine, but a sanctuary, bent, but didn't snap. So even now, when Thrall walks, the stones breathe. He's the earth warder, not a god, no matter what the weary soldiers whisper when his storms shield their retreat. He's the living symbol of Cairne, that green-skinned child finding dignity not by swinging an axe at demons, but by lifting his people from darkness. What endures? Step into the valley of wisdom. An old shaman lighting incense for the ancestors, teaching a peon the fire song. The way a tauren blade master glances at a Darkspear sentinel guarding the Vol'jin outpost. Trust born in Thrall's dream. The refuge. It's real, lost souls finding a home under crossed banners. For the forsaken redeemed, the Magar seeking a sky without iron. Even broken souls from Alliance lands. Echoes of the same plea. I need shelter. The doomhammer, he set it down, but its weight, it endures. It reshaped monsters into a nation. It changed what an orc's heartbeat, it balanced the world. Long after he's gone, that tremor in Azeroth's crust, that's his legacy, still breathing, still strong.